Today, we are talking about something huge, one of the biggest strategic moves a growing business can make. We're talking about giving your company a brain upgrade, and that brain is called Enterprise Resource Planning, or ERP. Now, this isn't just about new software. It's about fundamentally rewiring how your entire business thinks and acts. So let me ask you, does this sound familiar? You've got your sales team working with one set of numbers, your finance department has a totally different spreadsheet, and the folks in inventory, well, they might as well be on another planet. It's that feeling of organized chaos, right? It's a classic growing pain, and it means different parts of your company just can't talk to each other. And you know what? It's inefficient, and it's absolutely holding you back. So what's the fix? Well, that's where an ERP system comes in. Think of it as this one, single, unified platform that's designed to connect all those disconnected parts. It brings everything, and I mean everything, from HR and finance to your supply chain and manufacturing, all under one digital roof. And the result? You finally get one single source of truth for the entire organization. Here's the best way to think about it. An ERP is literally the central nervous system for your company. It's the brain. It takes in all the signals from the different limbs, sales, operations, finance. It processes all that information and then sends out coordinated instructions so that the whole body, your whole business, can move together as one, smartly and efficiently. Okay, so now that we get what it is, let's zoom way out for a second and look at the big picture. Just how big of a deal is ERP on a global scale? Well, let me tell you, this isn't some niche tech corner. We are talking about a massive economic force that's fueling business modernization everywhere. Get ready for this number. The projected size of the ERP market in 2025 is $147.7 billion. That is huge. This isn't just some passing trend. It's a core pillar of the modern global economy. We're talking about almost 4 million companies all over the world investing in these systems. And if we break that down by region, the Americas are leading the pack in spending. But the real story here, the thing to watch, is the explosive growth in the Asia-Pacific region. They're already at 33% and closing in fast. This signals a major global shift, right? You've got these booming manufacturing hubs and startup scenes in APAC adopting these advanced systems so they can compete on the world stage. So where is all that cash actually going? Well, it's probably not a huge surprise that it's all about the core functions of a business. Financial applications and human capital management, or HCM. Together, they make up half of all the spending. And what that tells us is that before anything else, companies want to get their foundations right. They're getting their money and their people management locked in. Now, these global numbers are pretty staggering, but what does this digital transformation actually look like on the ground? To really see it in action, let's zoom right into a super dynamic and fast-growing market, Kenya. It's just a fantastic real-world example of both the drivers and the challenges of adopting an ERP. So in Kenya, the push for cloud ERP, that powerful software you can access online without needing a bunch of expensive servers on site, it's being driven by what you could call a perfect storm. Businesses there are jumping on the cloud. There's this huge hunger for more efficiency, and the government itself is actively pushing for digital transformation. It's a crystal clear sign that technology is seen as the key to their economic future. But look, it's not always a simple journey. There are some very real hurdles to clear, and they're totally understandable, right? Businesses worry about data security. The initial cost to get one of these systems up and running can be steep. And for a lot of small and medium-sized businesses, there's just a general lack of awareness about what the long-term payoff really is. Just knowing these challenges exist is the first step. But the real question, the one every business leader has to ask, is how do you actually get through them? How do you go from understanding the what and the why of ERP to really mastering the how? And that question brings us to what is maybe the most critical part of this whole thing, the implementation. Seriously, the success of your entire project can totally hinge on picking the right method, the right path for your specific company, your culture, and your project. So there are basically two main schools of thought here. On one side, you've got the agile method. It's kind of like trying to build a car while you're already driving it. It's super flexible, you do it in small chunks, and you're constantly adapting based on feedback. Then, on the other side, you've got the waterfall method. This is more like building a skyscraper. Every single step is planned out and documented in a very strict order. It's perfect for projects where you know exactly what you need from day one. Now, neither one is better than the other. They just solve different kinds of problems. The great news is, you don't have to figure this out from scratch.
Tech giants like Microsoft have created these amazing frameworks, like Success by Design. These are basically playbooks, best practice guides built from the combined knowledge of thousands of projects, both the ones that succeeded and the ones that failed. It's like getting a massive head start.
Okay, we've talked strategy, we've talked methods, but what about the results? Does all this theory actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at some proof. Let's start with Thatcher's cider. I mean, this quote right here, it says it all. A successful ERP project isn't just about installing some software. It's about building a real partnership where your tech provider becomes a core part of your business, someone who truly gets what you need. Okay, now let's jump over to a completely different industry, agriculture. For Pure Seeds, the story was all about a rescue mission. They were literally stuck in a failing project. Then, the right ERP partner came in, gave them some honest-to-goodness advice, and completely turned the whole thing around. It just goes to show you, an ERP isn't just for starting fresh. It can save a project that's going off the rails. What about dealing with massive scale and complexity? Well, take a look at Nord Anglia Education. They run schools in 31 different countries. Imagine trying to get a clear picture of your finances with that setup. They needed a single, unified view of their money across the entire globe, and a modern ERP system was really the only way they could get that kind of visibility and control. And one last one, the retailer Sweaty Betty. Their goal was so clear and so easy to measure. They wanted to take their painful 3-week-long process for closing the books at the end of the month and slash it down to just 5 days. Think about that. That is a monumental gain in efficiency. It frees up their entire finance team to do more important strategic work. It just proves that success is often about hitting these clear, tangible goals.
So, after that whole journey from the huge global market down to these specific real-world results, we're left looking at the road ahead. What are the key things you really need to remember if you're thinking about this for your own company?
Let's do a quick recap. First, always think of an ERP as your business's central nervous system, the thing that connects everything. Second, remember this market is enormous, and it's all driven by that basic need to get your money and your people management right. Third, picking your implementation path, whether it's the flexible agile or the structured waterfall, that choice is absolutely crucial. And finally, as we just saw, success has been proven time and time again in every kind of industry you can imagine, as long as it's done right. And that really brings us to the final thought. Every business has a nervous system, right? Whether it's just a messy collection of spreadsheets and emails or a fully integrated platform. So the real question you've got to ask yourself is this. Is the system you're running on today an old relic, or is it a powerful, intelligent network that's actually built for the future?